Rip Van Winkle. This story is about an old man who was very much loved throughout his village. There were people that used to love him unconditionally because he was a very kind and a very helping neighbor. Because of his nature, he was very good to this, as he was very good to the children also. The children just loved him because he was always helping the children to how to fly the kites and then playing how to shoot the marbles and all. So everybody was just loving him all the time. But only one thing was bad about him, that was his laziness. He was too lazy, and because of which he was not doing anything at his farm. Everything in the farm just grew like a waste. So every time he used to get up and he used to think that there are things that are not functioning properly, he would not go to correct them. Instead of that, he would take his dog along, that is, as he had named him Wolf. So he would take his wolf, that is his dog, along with him, and he would just go into the forest for a walk. One day when he had gone for a walk, it was the time that he had gone very far. So there he managed to reach a place which was very high up in the mountains. So he decided to stay there, take some rest, and then he would get down. So he had lied there and he started daydreaming. By the time of the evening, he noticed that he should get back towards the home because it would be night ultimately very soon. When he was getting back, he found that there was a voice just calling him up from behind, calling him by his name, that is Rip Van Winkle, Rip Van Winkle. Suddenly he heard that voice. He noticed that there was an old man who was just holding up a very large barrel along with in his hands, and that barrel was just falling off. So he was asking for help. So Rip Van Winkle, being very humble person, he decided to help him out. And when both of them carried that barrel to a place, there were very small 9 such more people, the people of the height and shape and size of the same old man. There were 9 more people who were playing the 9 pins. And when they both reached there, the man, that is the old man, he took out something from the barrel and poured it into the glasses. He served one of those things as one of the glass to that person, that is Rip Van Winkle. He was very suspicious, but even then he thought, why not just have some? So he drank it and he started feeling unconscious, and on his way, that is, he was feeling very dizzy already, he just decided to lie down and take some rest. But when he opened up his eyes and he decided that he was just finding himself at the same place where he was in the starting, that is the point where he had slept high up in the mountains. Then he got up and thought, what has happened with him? Has he been sleeping for so long? Maybe it could have been. So he got up and decided calling for his dog by his name, but he was unable to find his dog anywhere. So he decided to go back towards his home. On his way, he found the many people, the other villages that had known him earlier. So this time the people were unable to recognize him. He was very suspicious that why is it happening? He has been loved by people so much. Then what is it happening that they are not able to even analyze that it is the same man? But over there only there was a woman who was standing, and she fortunately noticed that it was Rip Van Winkle. She greeted him saying that, oh, you are the kind neighbor that had gone missing 20 years ago. Yes friends, it was 20 years ago that this man, that is Rip Van Winkle, had gone missing, and it is the 20 years after which he has come back to his own village. So probably he has been asleep for 20 years. So that was about Rip Van Winkle.